Hey guys, it is February 20th, 2021, and today we're going to be installing side skirts and a front lip on my car. I currently have side skirts installed, but the ones I have are like some Jimmy Ching Chong ones from China or eBay, the eBay special. So I want to get rid of these because they look hideous. I contacted Extreme Online Store and they are helping me out with these side skirts and a front lip that are going to make the car look a little bit better, because admittedly I'm not a fan of the front end of this car, and though as much as I try to make it seem like I am, I'm really not. And for some time I try to see if I could swap it out for the ESS, and there's just too much money to be spent there, so I'm like keeping it like that. So hopefully this lip makes it look a little bit better. Now I am having such a hard time right now because I have very little space, as you can see, and putting these parts in was such a hassle. Like the whole thing is probably half the size of my car, and I'll get these installed after work. So one last thing, I am going to be putting down a link in the description for Extreme Online Store's website, so you guys can get these same parts or any similar parts for your car. They also offer carbon fiber options if you're up for that. Personally, no, I'm not going to be putting anything carbon fiber on the exterior of the car. There's only one carbon fiber piece that will be going on, but that's for next month, and it's going to look very nice. So yeah, go check their website out, because I promise you're going to buy at least one thing from there, because they do make quality parts. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all the talking. Let's get these parts installed.
Alright guys, so what you're going to need for this install is a 10mm socket, a 3/8 ratchet or impact driver, a drill, a 5/32 drill bit, a marker, a metal rivet tool, a jack and pole stands, or a $7,000 lift if you can afford one, and a lot of patience. Now, what I did was make sure that there's enough space between the frame of the vehicle and whatever it is that you're using to lift it. That way you don't have any issues later on trying to take off the side skirts. Now I'll start off with the front lip. All you really have to take off is the 10mm bolts that sit around the front end of the bumper that hold up the wind deflectors and the bumper itself. It's really not hard, it all just pretty much comes off all across the front and around the back of the wind deflectors. Now I do suggest you wash the vehicle, that way you have a clean contact surface that the front lip can stick to. What I did was just use alcohol to clean it off. I was in a rush and I needed to get it done. It works fine. Just make sure that all the grime dirt is off the front lip, that way that double-sided tape can glue on pretty good. Now what I did next was test fit the front lip. You have to make sure that these actually line up properly with all the bolts and actually looks good on the car. I say this simply because not all parts come the same. Sometimes the bolts won't line up, or the the lip might be bent or whatnot. So it's always a good idea to actually test fit it beforehand. You want to take this opportunity to go ahead and mark up where the rivets are going to go, simply because you can take off the lip, then drill it, and not have to risk damaging the front lip. Now, as you can see, it makes it so much easier to see where the rivets are going to go, disregarding the rock chips, but that way you can just drill it and not have to worry about damaging the front lip. Now, the front lip did not bring instructions, so it didn't tell me how thick of a drill bit I needed to use. So I went ahead and used a 5/32 drill bit, and I found out that that was the perfect size. I did not need to go any bigger. I just drilled straight forward. You don't need to worry about what's in the immediate proximity of the bumper, simply because there's enough space between the bumper itself and the radiator. It's poisonous, so dangerous. It's poisonous, so dangerous. The holes are pretty defined, and you can see where the rivets will go very clearly. As well as on the lip itself, you'll see where they're supposed to go. You'll then want to remove the very edges of the double-sided tape, so it makes it so much easier to remove once it's on the car. At this point, I went ahead and put up the front splitter for one final time, and I only used 2 or 3 screws to hold it in place while I took off the tape from the back. So once you get to the middle, you will see that the tape starts hitting the front bolts. So what I did is just take off the bolts one by one while holding up the front splitter at the same time. This obviously is a little bit more complicated than it should if you have somebody else with you, but it can be done. Then I took off the tapes from the sides. Now I went ahead and screwed everything back on. The only thing that is left is the rivets, which will be the next thing going on. Now this part is pretty straightforward. You just put the rivets where they go and it gets secured in place. After this, the front splitter is not coming off. Now the only thing I did notice was that the tape on the inside of the front splitter gets in the way of where the holes are supposed to go. So what I just used was a pick and just puncture through them. It doesn't damage the splitter and it doesn't damage the bumper since the holes are already there.
I come and go like a rah-rah-rah. They don't want the two be going nah-nah-nah. I'm coming back with the money in the bag. The rubies in my lap, yeah, I'm running for the cash. I come and go like a round. Putting in the work like I'm way behind. Still trapping on the low, lurking in the mode like I'm running from the pole. Yeah. Remember when we did it for life? Was noticing all these frames got me trimming a knife. Always on some new thing like riding the bike. Let's do things in one setting, but I don't feel like selling for the time being. When I was young I used to dream about the palm trees. After the summer achievements I got a long sleeve. Supposedly, think about it.
And that's it. It's just a tedious but very simple process. You can see all the rivets are inserted and all the bolts are being used. Now, there will be extra bolts left over from the wind deflectors. Obviously, they don't go back on. I don't see how they would, but I leave them off. There's very few bolts, and that's pretty much all there is to it. That front splitter is installed and it looks very good. Now we'll head over and start doing the side skirts.
I come and go like a rah-rah-rah. They don't want the two be going nah-nah-nah. I'm coming back with the money in the bag. The rubies in my lap, yeah, I'm running with the cash. I'm come and go like a rah-rah-rah. Putting in the work like I'm way behind. Still trapping on the low, lurking in the mode like I'm running from the pole.
Now the side skirts will come with instructions, and they also provide the tape and the bolts that will be used for the installation. Now the tools you need for this installation is a jack or a lift, a 10mm socket, a wrench or an impact driver, a drill, and a 3/16 drill bit. The screws and the tape is provided. So as you can see, these eBay side skirts are hideous. So I started off by taking these off and thoroughly cleaning the sides of the vehicle. Please disregard the mess I made with these holes when I first put on those cheap side skirts. The Extreme Online Store side skirts are very straightforward and you don't have to do anything close to that. So what I did next was use tape to essentially line up the side skirts as to where it's gonna go. You can use somebody else for this. I honestly don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. The tape works just fine. You just hold it up where you want it to go and it's gonna stay. Now this is a precautionary step I took simply because I was being a little bit paranoid. I did not want to damage this, I did not want it to go bad. However, you do not need to do this. At this point, you can really just get your 3/16 drill bits and drill through the holes. There's plenty of space and you don't have to worry about damaging the car or the side skirts. The bolts that are being provided have a backing plate that more than covers the cavity that's on the side skirts, so it will hold it in place. But for whatever reason you want to do exactly what I'm doing, all I did was get the bolts and start sort of screwing it in order to mark the location where I'm gonna drill. Then I took off the side skirts and drilled the holes. Then I went ahead and started installing the tape that was provided with the kit. You can see on the diagram where it's supposed to go and line up. It's pretty straightforward. It's kind of difficult to mess this up.
So full of tears, I got my friends who got my back, so don't pretend you're all I have. You can't come crawling back here no more. First you love me, then leave me, then say you're lost without me. I found myself without you, I'm sure. Look at me now, I survived.
And I still used the tape to keep it up in place while I went ahead and bolted up the side skirts.
Ooh, baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. I'm living it up, I'm taking it high, yeah, I'm living it up without you. Ooh, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. Come get your clothes and all the stuff you left behind. Don't want it lying all around, don't want a thing here to remind me of your presence, cause I'm much better without. No need for memories at all, I'm done erasing you, my love. You can't come crawling back here no more. First you love me, then leave me, then say you're lost without me. I found myself without you, I'm sure. Look at me now, I survived, so don't you worry about me. Ooh, baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me.
and I did end up missing one of the holes. So this is where I can show you guys where I meant that you do not need to take off the side skirts to drill the holes. So just get your 3/16 and you have more than enough space to just drill right through it.
Baby, don't need you to love me, so you shouldn't worry. Hey, hey, baby, I got all that I need, so don't you worry about me. I'm living it up, I'm taking it high, yeah. I'm living it up without you.
So that's pretty much it. Got the left side on. It's really clean. It does cover up all the holes that were there before. I don't have to worry about those things showing that they're horrendous. Oh crap, I almost forgot to take these off. Come on, come on. There you go. And unlike the eBay ones, these don't require that many holes because it lines up almost perfectly with the body of the car. Definitely an easy fix, or an easy installation, I'm sorry. And these holes you can drill with them on, or I'm sorry, you can drill those holes with the side skirts on. Only reason I didn't the first time was because I was scared of damaging the side skirt. But after seeing, you know, after doing this one, I realized that I was just being dumb. So yeah, you can definitely just drill the holes while you have the side skirt installed. Again, it is very easy to do this with another person while they hold it, but it's also easy just to tape it up like I did. That way you don't have to worry about it, you know, moving around.
Na 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 na, just as stupid as you. You're a stupid